What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's finally freaking Friday. The weekend is upon us, and we have XFL football. Surprisingly, these games are going down to the wire. Unfortunately, Ben DiNucci is now 0-2. Has had some nice plays and stuff, but their team just can't hold on to a lead. They literally just can't hold on to a lead. So we'll probably watch a little bit of that this weekend. Doing some more work in the man cave, setting some stuff up, and having a good time with that. You know, we're trying to upgrade what we're doing. And we're hoping that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be upgrading what they're doing as far as the team goes. We have some interesting news that's happened. There's been a wide receiver that's been released that, you know, some Cowboy fans think we need to sign him. Sam Hurd, in case you haven't heard, Sam Hurd was released from prison. He's on parole. He had a 15-year sentence. Sam Hurd, again, former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver, who went to the Chicago Bears and was busted for getting a kilo of coke with the intent to distribute. Was released on a $100,000 bond, ended up failing a drug test, in which case he ended up going to prison, allegedly for 15 years, but 10 years in, he is released. And it's funny because I literally have some Cowboy fans, I'm assuming that it's a joke, that the Cowboys should sign him. Well, okay. Jokes aside, who they might be interested in signing, which we have a little bit of interesting tad bits about, are DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins, who was traded by the Houston Texans to the Cardinals, who was suspended for 6 games last year for PEDs, is under contract with, of course, the Cardinals at $19 million. And interestingly enough, is in Dallas working out with Dez Bryant, working out and hanging out with Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant, you know, of course, former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver, is not employed by the Cowboys or anything, but has the ear of the Cowboys as well. And here's where it gets to be interesting. I'm actually going shopping, getting some food. I'm going to get some meats to go smoke in the smoker. But here's where it gets to be interesting is there was a no trade clause for Hopkins, but it was waived because of the suspension. See, you know, your no waive clause is predicated on you being a solid citizen. Once you had the PED failure, it ended up being null and void. So the Cardinals can technically trade him to anybody. The rumors out there, of course, is that they would be willing to take a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick. And with him being in Dallas, it's kind of interesting hanging out with Dez Bryant. Now, again, the Cowboys can't, you know, go through and do anything other than negotiate with him directly and talking trades and stuff. Anything else beyond that becomes tampering. You know, if Dak Prescott says, hey, I'd like to go get, you know, DeAndre Hopkins and stuff like that, then that would be like considered tampering, kind of like what Diggs is doing about his brother, you know, putting pictures of him out in Cowboys gear and, you know, basically saying, you know, Cowboys Nation, tweet out there, go get my brother and things like that. That actually is tampering. I don't know that the NFL will do anything about it because he is actually a Dallas Cowboy player who's talking about his brother. But technically, and since the Cowboys get scrutinized more than anybody else, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't. So we'll see if the Cowboys do anything. There are going to be players out there. We're already seeing the bloodletting that is beginning with NFL teams that are shedding players that maybe underperformed or were deemed too expensive, or they realize we need to start over and we need cap space. The question will be, and the question we have not had answered, we've heard the team say, we want to upgrade our receivers, you know? Well, that's like me saying, you know, I want to be a millionaire. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean I'm going to do something about it. It's just saying I want that. In the same way, when you look at somebody like C.J. Stroud, you can say, yeah, we're intrigued by the guy. We think he's actually really good. But being intrigued versus selling out and trying to get him are two different things. I'm sure that the team is intrigued by a lot of players that are out there, but it doesn't mean they're going to do anything about it. And the big question we have to ask is, are the Cowboys Leopards going to change their spots? Because they have not been the big team that believes in a lot of big trades. They have not been the team that believes in big free agents. They are the team that believes in their own players and their own coaching staff and their own draftability. But they're also a team that believes in not making it to the Super Bowl. Now, there have been some changes with the Cowboys. And let's be clear, the fact that the Cowboys started out with Dan Quinn and basically let Dan Quinn do the cooking is different what the Cowboys traditionally do, because the Cowboys like to have their hands in everything. But you look at how the Cowboys defense from just a couple of years ago has literally turned around and had success by letting a football person do the decision making and being autonomous with doing this. I believe that maybe the Cowboys are doing the same thing with Mike McCarthy and saying, okay, we've done things our way for all these years. Now let's go ahead and see what you can do with your way. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to go through and say, Mike McCarthy, what do you need? And let Mike McCarthy pick the type of guys that he wants. We're already changing offensive philosophies from what the Joneses have known for so long. And we'll see if that all pays dividends. I'm excited about where the season goes. Damn, dude. Hope you're not going to stay there, because I won't be able to back my shit up. Okay. Hopefully the Cowboys do change what they're doing and decide we have to be all in and actually work on getting some extra pieces. And by all means, I'm not saying do a Rams situation where you trade away all your picks and you sign every free agent and stuff, and then you really screw up your future. But you have to have a balance of the two. You got to understand that some of the guys you're holding on to, that you might be better suited getting a younger person in there and not making these big commitments long term. And when you start looking and thinking about the running back situation, where we're talking about Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard basically having $20+ million in running back situations, and you look at the big contracts and running backs and the big name running backs, most of them sat home during the season. So you look at that and say, maybe that's a flawed philosophy, and see what Mike McCarthy has to offer. All right, let me get in here and get what I need and get back to the man cave, because I got more work to do out there. All right, good people. I'll catch you later.